of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Mansour Marzuk Z'tl. Now it's reported over he was born at around the English year 1723 and seemingly passed away on Gimel or Dalet Sivan, 3rd or 4th Sivan in the English year 1783. This according to different sources. He would become a great Chalabi, Syrian rabbi of his day, especially from Aleppo, of that area. He would go on also to become a judge, a Diane of Pardon, and he was one of the great rabbis, especially, and would spend a huge amount of time in Jerusalem. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he was born in Chalab, in Aleppo. Remember, in that, especially in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, there was a strong Jewish community over there, and very much came from great heritage. I think, sadly, his father passed away. He didn't get to know him so well, and his mother would send him to learn with his brother Rav Sadia, I believe, in the famous Yeshivat Bet Yaakov Herrera, that was based in Jerusalem. So remember, we actually dedicated and spoke an entire video within regards to the famous Bet Yaakov Yeshiva. We did this only a couple of weeks ago here from the time of recording, so I recommend everyone to look over that video we did. He would study also Torah with many great rabbis over there. That was one of the main yeshivot in Jerusalem, including the famous Rabbi Yisrael Meir Mizrahi, who would learn along with, who was a great rabbi of his time, and just one of the major rabbis. He actually was author of the book, the Shut Pri Haaretz. He was also one of the famous Shlochei Rabbanans, representing Jerusalem in his time. So that was one of the great rabbis. He would also learn along with his brother, Rabbi Yisrael Meir's brother, Rabbi Nisim Chaim Moshe Mizrahi, another rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. He was, I believe, a Rishon LeZion, I believe, between the years 1745 to 1749, 18th one. So he just showed the greatness of the rabbis in the Pereira Yeshiva. He also, I think, wrote the Admat Kodesh book and various other books. There was also another great rabbi, I think he was close to the Rishon LeZion, Rabbi Raphael Miyuchas, also one of the great rabbis of Jerusalem, the author of Pri Adama. And also there was other great rabbis in that place and time. I think the famous Marit Al-Ghazi, the great rabbi, also, I think he was a Rishon LeZion, if I'm not mistaken, of his day. And I recommend everyone to watch over there. And he was a member of the court, actually, I think, of Rabbi El-Ghazi, if I'm not mistaken. Rabbi Mansour Marzuk was one of several rabbis signing various different signatures or letters from rabbis of Jerusalem at that point in time. And I think, especially at the time period of Rav Yom Tov Al-Ghazi, who was also Rishon LeZion, and I think the Rosh Yeshiva of the famous Yeshivat Bet El in Jerusalem, a place we've visited before on this channel. He would go on to have great students also, including the Navon brothers, especially Rabbi Benjamin Navon, who was author of the Pri Shinan, and Rabbi Mordechai Navon. These are rabbis I believe we've spoken about on various separate videos in this series over here. So I recommend everyone to look over there. And he would write Haskama on various different Sfarim. Among them, the Einei Avraham of Rav Avram Chapik, I believe, I hope I pronounce it, or Tzapik, I hope I pronounce his name correctly. I believe we actually spoke about him in the past. He was one of the great rabbis, I think, from Tunisia, if I'm not mistaken, and would later on become a great rabbi in Jerusalem. This book was of the Einei Avraham, which he gave the Haskama was in the Chilchot Maaseh Korbanot, on the sacrifices, I think from the Mishnah Torah of the Rambam, respectively. Another great book was V'chashav Li Lo HaKohen, and B'Shev HaKohen, and I think it's Rav Avram Katz, if I'm not mistaken. He passed away, according to major source on Wikipedia, actually, on the 3rd of Sivan in the year Tav Kuf Mem Gimel. That was 1783. He was buried in the Mount of Olives burial plot in Jerusalem, Har Zaitim, as we state. Among the rabbis that would eulogize him included the famous Rabbi Avram Satan, who was a very great rabbi. He was the head of Jewish court over there and the head of rabbis among that Syrian Aleppo community, and was part of the rabbinic dynasty of Sultan family. Now, he himself wrote down various different great Torah colossal works, Rabbi Mansour Marzuk, including the Ben Pedach Tzur, which was printed in Seloniki, I think in the year Tav Kuf Mem Vav. It was drashot on the various different order of the Torah. I think it was printed actually after he passed away, I think through Rabbi Mordechai ben Yonah Navon, who was a great rabbi. Then there was a Korban Elitzur, also once again printed in Seloniki, I think a year afterwards, in Tavkuf Lamed Zayin, I think around the year 17. I'm not sure exactly. This was Chidushim on the tractate of Avodah Zarah, and it was a Sheilot Shuvot, question and answers book. And I think that was in connection with the Rishon LeZion that time. Rabbi Raphael Miyuchas maybe gave a haskam of some sort. Then there was Tzur Tu'uda that was printed in Saloniki in Tav Kuf Mem Gimel. And some years later, it was Chidushim and Pilpulim, like in-depth study on the halachot of the Rambam, respectively, and also the Beit Sur, which is a manuscript form. I think various different other great Chidushim and his writings was found in another book, I think connected to Rabbi Yehuda Katzin, who, or he gave teachings in regards to that at that point in time. I think Rabbi Yehuda Katzin was from the Katzin rabbinic dynasty. There were great rabbis in, respectively, over there. I think he himself was born in the year 1708 in Chalab. I believe we spoke about him on various occasions before he passed away, I believe, on the same year as Rabbi Marzuk in the year 1783. So he was a great rabbi of his time. He had great students, and was part very much of the famous Yeshivat Bet Yaakov. Never get to light candles in his memory. Now, friends, we are a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. We've spoken about Rabbi Mansour Marzuk today, another great Syrian rabbi. We've actually mentioned various different rabbis inside this series. He actually, just to add on, I think he would get married to Rabbanet Rozula, if I'm not mistaken. And very much, that's what, from what I hear. And I would recommend everyone to learn more about them using the sources from Wikipedia and from the Hayami website in this video also today. Please subscribe to the channel, friends. We are nearly on 7,000 subscribers, which is a phenomenal achievement of it. If anyone is interested in watching these videos, please share these videos to other people also. And if you descend from any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information on the rabbis, and please add on to these videos. We're a community here, we're growing, we're learning about the great Oriental rabbis. Yesterday, we've nearly covered 1,000 great Chachamim from the past. So wishing you all well, a Shabbat Shalom, and take care. Thank you very much, and be well, everyone. Thank you.